Our modern world is drowning in content. Every day, our senses are bombarded. Images, sounds, ideas, endless streams of creativity, and let's be honest, a lot of noise. In this chaotic digital age, originality isn't just rare. It's an endangered species. The temptation to copy, borrow, or outright steal looms larger than ever. Especially online, where creativity and imitation are constantly at war. And at the heart of this battle, the starving artist. Imitation is the first step, but definitely not the last. From birth, we're natural mimics. We learn language by copying sounds, master skills by emulating experts, and absorb cultural norms like sponges. Watching, repeating, it's how we survive. Ever seen a toddler demand their coffee with oat milk and a splash of cinnamon, just like mom? Yeah, we start early. But what happens when imitation becomes the destination instead of the path? When we favor conformity over creativity, replication over innovation, we get a world of predictable, recycled ideas, art that feels like it came from an assembly line, a creative wasteland where risk is avoided and algorithms dictate taste. Imagine a garden where every flower is genetically engineered to look the same. The result? A visually cohesive but lifeless landscape. No wild, unexpected bursts of color. No unrepeatable patterns of nature. Just uniformity, bland and unremarkable. That's what happens when we let imitation overrun creativity. We pluck the wildflowers of originality and replace them with plastic replicas. They may look convincing from a distance, but up close they lack the texture, the scent, the soul of something real. The ease of digital tools has made copying even more tempting. AI can now generate art, music, and even entire videos with a single click. While these tools can be powerful allies, they also create a world where originality is suffocated by an avalanche of repackaged content. Comparison is the worship of authority. It is imitation, thoughtlessness. And so, the search for true originality begins. If imitation leads to stagnation, where does originality come from? Some say talent, others say hard work, and some just blame the algorithm. But what if real creativity comes from something deeper, something beyond the ego? What if originality isn't something we force, but something we uncover? To truly see, there must be no agenda, no prejudice, no ego saying, "This is mine." True originality isn't about doing something completely new, because let's be honest, almost everything has been done before. Instead, it's about seeing the world in a unique way, bringing a fresh perspective, and blending ideas in unexpected ways. Creativity is like a river. It doesn't come from you, it moves through you. The more you try to control it, the more it resists. But when you surrender to the current, it carries you somewhere unexpected. Enter non-duality. Non-duality suggests that the separate self, the I we hold so dearly, is an illusion. We tell ourselves we're independent beings, masters of our thoughts and actions. But what if that's just a mental construct? What if the self is just another old habit? If that's true, then art doesn't come from us, it moves through us. We're not creators in the sense of ownership. We're conduits. And when we drop the illusion of self, the fear of originality disappears. This idea isn't just philosophical, it has practical implications for creatives. The fear of being original often stems from fear of judgment. What if people don't like it? What if I fail? But when we realize creativity is a process beyond the individual self, we free ourselves from that fear. We create because we must, not because we want applause. Think of it this way. The best musicians don't play music, they channel it. The best painters don't paint ideas, they uncover them. The best writers don't construct stories, they receive them like messages on the wind. If creativity isn't a personal possession, then originality isn't about forcing a unique identity. It's about removing the barriers that prevent genuine expression. The pressure to be one of a kind dissolves, and what's left is pure, uninhibited creativity. Now, a particularly ugly byproduct of inauthenticity is plagiarism. You see it everywhere, especially online. People stealing content, repackaging ideas, letting AI do the work, and slapping their name on it like they earned it. It's not just lazy, it's a confession of creative bankruptcy. Because when someone plagiarizes, what they're really saying is, "I don't believe I have anything worth saying." They aren't just copying content, they're outsourcing their identity. Stealing content equals creative bankruptcy. But let's go deeper. Why do people plagiarize? Some might argue it's just about making money or gaining fame, and sure, that's part of it. But more often, plagiarism comes from insecurity, a deep, gnawing fear that their own ideas aren't enough, that their voice doesn't matter. And here's the thing, plagiarism isn't just about direct copying. Rephrasing, text spinning, and remixing someone else's ideas without adding anything original, that's still plagiarism. Changing a few words doesn't make it yours. Even if you rearrange someone's furniture, it's still their house. Plagiarism is the refuge of the artist who has lost faith in themselves. And in a world of endless content, it's easier than ever to fake it. But no matter how much you dress up stolen work, it will always lack the raw energy of true creation. It's the difference between a fresh meal cooked with care and a microwaved imitation. It might fill you up temporarily, but it's soulless, processed, and forgettable. Be a creator, not a thief. What do you get when you cross a struggling artist with an economic system that treats them like disposable content machines? A crisis of authenticity. But we don't have to play that game. We can reject the easy path of imitation and forge something real. Create because you have something to say. Create because your perspective matters. Create because you refuse to be a counterfeit. If we truly want a richer, more diverse world of ideas, we have a responsibility to be creators, not thieves. Every artist struggles with doubt. Every creator questions their originality. But the difference between an artist and a thief is simple. One embraces the uncertainty and creates anyway. The other takes the shortcut and calls it inspiration. So, which one do you want to be?